As Blue Tigers stumble, Blue Tigresses hunt for laurels. On the night of July 5, 2025, under the heavy lights of Chiang Mai Stadium, the Indian women's football team rewrote history. With a hard-fought 2-1 win over hosts Thailand, the Blue Tigresses sealed qualification for the 2026 AFC Women's Asian Cup, their first ever on merit. No favors, no shortcuts, no host pass. Just football. Just grit. Just belief. As Sangita Basfore fell to her knees in tears, the victory became more than just a result, it was a reckoning. A roaring statement from a team that has long been underfunded, undercovered, and underestimated, yet continues to rise with every kick of the ball. It wasn't expected to happen, not in a foreign stadium. Not against a team ranked 24 places higher, not from a team that came into the qualifiers on the back of 4 consecutive losses and a slip to the 70th rank. And definitely not by a squad that doesn't even have a full-time coach. And yet, there was Sangita Basfore, fighting back tears after scoring twice on what she later called the hardest night of my career, but my proudest moment. To understand the weight of her tears, you have to understand what these women endure week in and week out. Her goals didn't just win the match, they flipped the script entirely. But the truth is, her performance wasn't some miracle. It was the result of everything this team has quietly endured and worked for. The Blue Tigresses didn't just sneak into the AFC Women's Asian Cup. They earned it, with conviction. A 13-0 thrashing of Mongolia. A commanding 5-0 win against Iraq. A confident 4-0 victory over Timor-Leste. There was no set starting 11. No over-reliance on a few stars. Instead, 22 players were rotated throughout the campaign. But behind those scorelines is a story of chaos, patchy support, and constant uncertainty. Leading them was Crispin Chetri, who couldn't even be on the touchline due to licensing issues but still managed the team from the sidelines with clarity and calm. In fact, India were the only team in the entire qualifying round that did not have their recognized coach on the bench. But that didn't stop them. But that night in Chiang Mai was about more than just one goal or one game, it was a stand against everything the system had thrown at them. The results didn't come from individual magic, they came from teamwork, belief, and a shared hunger to prove a point. Because back home, the road has never been smooth. These women return to a domestic league that barely gives them room to grow, let alone dream. The infrastructure is sparse, the investment minimal, and the spotlight dim. Players play in the scorching heat and travel on shoestring budgets. Most teams play just 14 to 16 games a year, too few to build match rhythm and far too little to build a league. For many players, this league doesn't even feel like a career. Meanwhile, in the national setup, these women have carved their path through campaigns that shuffled coaches faster than jerseys. Until this year, most of the women had never had a proper national camp. Preparations were always rushed. Coaches changed so often, players barely had time to settle into a system, facilities? Inconsistent at best. And yet, they kept showing up. These players have battled not just opponents but an unforgiving domestic structure that offers them little support and even less recognition. Their success wasn't handed to them, it was carved out of unyielding spirit, forged through weeks of discipline, cohesion, and belief. So when Sangita scored and dropped to her knees, it wasn't just about the win. It was everything behind it, the frustration, the doubt, the hours in camp, the years of being overlooked. It was the payoff of a journey that, for the longest time, didn't even seem to be going anywhere. At the very moment the Blue Tigresses sealed a historic victory, the men's team was struggling. No win in 2 Asian Cup qualifying matches, a sluggish draw with Bangladesh followed by a choppy loss to Hong Kong. The contrast is glaring. One side, neglected and under-resourced, beats the odds, the other, lavished with attention and support, continues to underdeliver. It begs a crucial question: why does success come from those least given a chance? To put things in perspective, the men's team were promised $50,000 for simply beating Hong Kong. Meanwhile, the women will receive the same amount for something truly monumental, securing a historic qualification that could take them to the World Cup. One wonders if the IF believes that, for the men's team, showing up and doing the bare minimum now counts as bonus-worthy. Or have things gone so far downhill that a single win for the men now feels as big as qualifying for a continental tournament for the women? Is that really how low the standard has fallen? In its latest budget reveal, the IF has handed 4.76 crore to the men's football team and a humble 2 rupees, 74 crore to the women's team, including all youth squads. IF budget, until December 31, 2025, India emoji, Indian women's national teams, 2 rupees. 74 crore, IF share, plus 2.75 crore rupees, SAI, rolled up newspaper emoji, media, communication and PR, 2 rupees crore shows where priorities lie, and where more investment could go. Thoughts? At Now. Because clearly, Instagram posts and press releases are just as crucial as funding players and developing the players. Why invest in athletes when you can just spin the narrative instead? Priorities, right? When Sangita lifted her father's memory and sacrifices into that historic win, her tears told many stories of pain, perseverance, and purpose. So too did the rehabilitation of players like Manisha Kalyan and Soumya Gugaloth, who ventured to Europe. Manisha even became the first Indian to net in the UEFA Champions League. Each milestone carried the weight of unseen struggle. The pay disparity, a chasm of cricket-sized proportions. Salary inequity in Indian football isn't news, it's a wider national scandal. Pay disparity in Indian football isn't just a talking point, it's an epidemic. In early 2023-24, IF rolled out big promises, a minimum IWL player wage of 3 rupees, 2 lakh, U17 leagues, and a structural revamp, only to see those plans scrapped. Clubs balked at the minimum wage rule, citing weak revenue and infrastructure. Meanwhile, the federation trimmed women's staff budgets and grassroots spending, only bolstering PR and administrative divisions instead. These moves confirmed what players already knew: talk may be loud, but actions are faint. While women make do with peanuts, men's football flaunts blockbuster deals. Blue Tigresses stars like Sweetie Devi, Ashalata Devi, and Kartika reportedly make between Rs7-9 lakh per year, with the highest perhaps grazing Rs10-12 lakh. In contrast, male national teammates can command as much as 2 crore. Even the most basic players in ISL who might not even make it to the national team earn close to 40 to 70 rupees lakhs. Let's take for example, in a move that turned quite a few heads, Mohun Bagan supergiants snapped 20-year-old Abhishek Tektham up from Punjab FC for a 1 rupee 8 crore transfer fee, with a whopping 2.1 crore annual salary, tallying over 8 rupees 1 crore across a 3-year contract. Compare that to the women's top earners barely hitting 10 lakh rupees, and the gulf becomes jaw-dropping.